So Ruth, many Black women in leadership are still the only one at the table. How did that feel? How did that feel like for you in your early roles?
Very lonely, extremely lonely. But sadly, I am used to it now. But I do want to see that change. I have learnt and I'm continually learning to network more and better and more effectively. I am learning to be confident in using my voice and also seeking like-minded Black women in leadership. And not all of them have NED or manager in their job title, but they are leaders, and I learn so much from them. They support me, they give me good advice, and we celebrate each other's achievements and encourage each other as well. And one thing that I always tell myself is when I'm out there doing my role, either I'm chairing a committee, a forum, an advisory group, or board, or I'm a member of a board, doesn't matter if people don't like me, doesn't matter if I face any overt or covert racism or prejudice, I belong in that space. I belong there because I've been deemed capable to be there. I will go in, do my job to the best of my ability, and leave and go and live my best life. And I stopped taking on that, oh, I don't think that person liked me. And oh, when I made that point, they were a bit funny with, I don't do that anymore. I go do my job. As long as nobody comes back to me and say, you didn't perform very well or you need to do this better, I don't let it bother me anymore. But that's why I have a passion to support and help more Black women to attain and be on boards. I really, really want to see more people who look like me in that boardroom because we do belong. We do, our experiences, our knowledge, our skills and expertise is really, really needed because when we do bring that skills, that expertise, that lived experience, it makes the discussion richer, and as I read earlier on about what I found online about women being in the spaces, in boardroom spaces and in politics, how we affect things. Now imagine if we have diverse group of women in the room, so yeah, that's where I am. It is very lonely. I am not going to lie. It's extremely, extremely lonely.
Now, I see you on LinkedIn, and I see the community around you, the engagements and the interactions that you have with people on LinkedIn, and I can see that you're building that community and being very visible. And it's
Yeah,
important to you to be visible and talk about yourself, talk about your journey,
yeah,
to inspire others to follow.
yeah.
How did you manage the weight of representation while trying to stay authentic? And being the only one in that room, there's always that expectation and that
There is.
unspoken rule of you know knowing and understanding that the Black people that come after me, I am going to be the point of reference for the others in the room.
I no longer manage it. I couldn't. The pressure was too much for me
Yeah.
when I tried to manage it, and it really affected me mentally in terms of my mental well-being. The weight was just too much for me. So I made a decision, I think it was early this year, to no longer manage it. It was just too overwhelming. But what I decided to do instead was to show up as my authentic self. And as long as your interaction with me leaves a positive impact, I'm happy. because if it leaves a positive impact, it means whenever you come across or interact with somebody who looks like me or from my background, you will remember either consciously or subconsciously that interaction. But because I wasn't carrying on that weight and just concentrating on being my authentic self, it meant I can just concentrate on being myself and leaving positive impact with each interaction. And one thing that I am always proud to let people know is that I am African. I am Nigerian, to be specific. I am not afraid or ashamed of my heritage or my ethnic background. And I will also let you know that as Black people, Black women, Black men, we are not a monolith.
Yeah.
We are diverse within our group, our experiences, our cultural beliefs, ideology, etc. is so diverse. So you can't put us in a box. We won't fit in your box, even if you try. So I just show up as my authentic self, and that's what I've been doing. It's been working very well for me. And I know that because I'm showing up as my authentic self, it's having positive impacts. And as you've noticed on LinkedIn, I'm building that community. I didn't set out to build a community. I just set out to be my authentic self and share my experience.
Yeah, definitely. So did you experience bias in subtle ways, and how did you handle it?
I think I'll be lying to myself if I say I did not experience bias in subtle ways. The way I handle it is I choose to ignore it and just do my job, get paid, keep it moving. I'll give you an example. In some of my roles, like I mentioned, I chair committee meetings. So I've not got a relationship with these people. I'm meeting them for the first time. They meeting me for the first time. And when it's a face-to-face meeting, I come into the room, everybody's chatting to themselves, etc. 98% of the time, I'm the only Black person in the room, and everybody ignores you. And it used to bother me. I don't let it bother me anymore. But once that time is up, good morning, everyone. I'll be your chair for today. This is how we're going to do things. I get my job done. I say goodbye to you. I leave because I've realized that work is not my life. I have a life outside work. I am fulfilled at work and outside work. So I can't let things like that be bothering me anymore. The only place that I will draw a line is if you overstep my boundary and you insult me, then I will call you to order. I have decided to stop fighting every battle and putting out fires because it was just wearing me out,
Yeah.
and before I used to fight fire with fire. Now I don't. I see fire, I'm gonna get water and put it out and keep it moving. Life is too short to be fighting these subtle battles all the time. And as long as I am fulfilling the responsibilities of my role, and there's evidence to demonstrate that, I don't know if I can say this online, but I will politely, with a smile on my face, tell you to Foxtrot Oscar.
Yes.
It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been through so many things, and as Black women, we've been through so many things in the workspace, and fighting those battles cost me my health and left me with three autoimmune conditions that I'm now fighting, that I will have for the rest of my life. So, I've had to rethink how I handle things and prioritize my physical and mental health. But I will draw the line. You overstep the boundary, I will channel my inner Nigerian gangster and come at you. And then, very quickly and firmly put you in your place. And people are
Yeah.
surprised when I do that because I'm not a shout, as we're talking, I'll be
Yeah,
very, very firm and tell you, I don't like the way you spoke to me. I don't like your attitude and your behavior, and I would like you to stop. And if you do not stop, this is what's going to happen.
suddenly
And
the
if
Nigerian auntie
yes,
comes out.
yes.
I love that. I love the essence of, giving it back to them. If
Yes,
someone has, a problem with you, issues with you, that's theirs.
exactly.
Their problems, their
Mm.
issues. Like you said, you'll turn up, do your job fantastically well, thank everybody, and go back to your
That's
life
it.
and
Yes,
your existence.
yes, yeah.
So, what's some of the inner ground, so the inner work that you've done to
Mm.
to ground you as a Ned?
Some of the things that I've done is working through my trauma and imposter syndrome. I have a lot of trauma because when I was working full time before I became a NED, I faced a lot of bullying, harassment, micromanagement, etc. in the workspace. And going into work was going into battle for me every day. And a lot of us have that experience. I worked in a lot of toxic teams, departments, etc. And I carried all of that whenever I go into a boardroom or into any space because I don't know you, you don't know me, I don't know what the culture is like. Like, I don't know if you are open to creating a psychologically safe space for me.
Yeah,
So that's something that have worked through and will continue to work through. And also, I came across this advice last year, and so far it's been working for me, which is get yourself the audacity of a mediocre white man. And trust me, that has been working for me because as you and I know, we have been in work environment with people who talk the talk but do not walk the talk.
yeah,
Or as the proverb says, empty barrels make noise.
yes,
And, you know, we've worked with a lot of those people who would then steal our idea and our hard work and present it as theirs. So I've decided, yes, you know, I will borrow myself the audacity of a mediocre white man. And I always have my mom's word, and every African person would have heard this from their mom or dad or their grandparents. And it might not be the exact same thing, but something similar, you know, where as a child you take your report card home and it's not great, and your mom would go, so the person who got an A, did they have two heads? They don't have two heads. What's wrong with your head? They've got one head just like you. You know, so I always remind myself and say, these people are just like me. They're humans like me. They bleed like me. You know, if we all take an X-ray, nobody knows if one person is black, white, etc. If they can do it, I can do it as well. And also, I stopped being hard on myself for being an introvert and being a reflective person because all my life as an introvert, people have always wanted me to be extroverted, especially in the workplace. I've had people in the workplace tell me I'm antisocial, you
yeah,
know, I don't go out, and I'm just like, for goodness sake, I turn up, I do my job, I do it well. Why does it matter with you that I do not want to come to the pub with you after work? Like, that's just not me. I'm pretending, and I don't like pretending. But now I have fully embraced my introvertism, if that's the word for it. And also, when I enter into a room, one of the things that I do to ground myself is I say to myself, I'm here for a purpose and I'm here for a role. And that role might be chairing a meeting, making it go well. It might be presenting on a topic. And I remind myself, I am here. Be your authentic self. There's nobody else like you. If anybody else tries to be like you, they are a counterfeit. You let everybody know that you are the original. And if they like, they will accept you. And if they don't accept you, that's fine. You've still turned up and you've done the job. keep it moving, and I'll pat myself on the back and move on to the next meeting or the next role. And I started doing this because as a Black woman, I realized that no one is coming to compliment me. No one is coming to encourage me and help me and support me. So I have to help myself. I have to do those things for myself. And that's why I'm building a community of fellow Black women, Black friends, where I can be totally honest and transparent with. And we can share our losses, our achievements, our failures, and we encourage each other because nobody does that for us.
Yeah,
Sadly,
yeah,
nobody does that for us.
yeah,
And those
that's
are the
very
things that
true.
I do to ground myself.
So, what do you want Black women to know about belonging in spaces not built with us in mind?
It took me a long time to realize this, but I want Black women to stop looking at belonging and to focus on being themselves. Because if you try and belong, you might need to compromise on your authenticity because the rules of belonging might require you to lessen yourself. Don't do that. Walk into that space, be yourself. And if they don't want you, go somewhere else or build your own space and gather like-minded people together. And the great thing is social media helps us to do that now. I don't know how other people use social media. Some people like to go on social media and catch crews, have fun, etc. Nothing wrong with that. I do that as well. But I also use social media to learn and to network. And since doing that, I have come across so many inspirational Black women online, including yourself, who
Yeah,
are building their own spaces and bringing Black women across continents, not just UK, continents together. And you know what the great thing is as well? Even non-Black women who see the vision and believe in what we're doing and want to be part of it are joining and supporting us. So
very
we are
true.
no longer begging to have access to spaces. If you reject us or close the door to us, we're building our own space. And I think that's what we need to do. The sky is big enough for everybody. So, stop begging to belong. Stop lessening yourself. And it took me a long time I only realized this year. And since that light bulb went off in my head, I live my life very, very differently. And it has been absolutely great because if I didn't do that, it wouldn't have led us to each other and we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation today.
It's very true. And I think the focus really is, as you say, don't focus on belonging,
Yeah.
focus on being.
Yes.
Just